Welcome to a new series that we're going to start. This is actually the Baseball Boys Archive. Throughout this series, I have a doctor, I have a historian, I have the man of the hour, Dr. Engstrom. He's going to walk us through not just the history of the league, but the history and personal stories of these players. Help you guys get to know them a little bit better. There's only so much you can see in an interview. So, Dr. Historian Engstrom, welcome to the show. Dr. Engstrom, I think you might be muted. Yep, you just gotta...
Is that better?
That's much better. That's much better.
So, as I was saying, it is my absolute pleasure to be here tonight.
Well,
I want
welcome.
to be able to fill in this magnificent audience with some information they may not know about these players.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of that out there.
Know. Some of it you will want to know.
All right. Well, let's dig into it. So the first team that we're going to be talking about today on this episode of the Baseball Boys Archive is the team Joe Johnson's. Owned, operated by, and coached by Mr. Joe Johnson himself. Dr. Engstrom, what do you know about Joe Johnson in a very basic term, just to introduce him to the audience?
Yeah, so there's two things that this audience needs to know about Joe Johnson. Number one, this is his second year. He did okay in the rookie year. He didn't get quite where he wanted to. He had some goals in the season. Those fell through. We had some injuries. We had some pitchers that just blew out arms. But he came back for some more. So, that's applaudable. The other thing I think this audience needs to know is Joe's a fraud. Yeah, you heard me. He's a fraud. He's got inside information about Major League Baseball that people don't know about.
Okay, now I'm going to stop you there real quick. I don't know if I would have invited you on the show if I knew you were just going to come on here and throw some wild accusations out there about the coaches, right? I think Joe is a stand-up guy. I think fraud might be a little bit strong, but in the name of journalism, I'm going to give you your chance to defend, this name calling that we're throwing around. Dr. Engstrom, what evidence do you have that Mr. Johnson is, in your words, a fraud?
Oh, I've got evidence. I want to know this answer first. Before I show you the evidence this man is a fraud, I want to know what kind of background checks has this league done on these people that they are calling managers? What has happened?
Well, I can assure you, and I can assure the audience and the fans of our great league, that we go to great lengths. We spend tons of time. We spend tons of money doing absolutely nothing to vet these coaches.
See, there's the problem. Let me show you. I thought this was an amateur league of people trying to just better themselves, give themselves a niche in their life. They could say, look at what I've done. Did you know I asked you that Joe is a former Major League Baseball pitcher? Did you know that? Did you know that he was a ringer? He played for the Braves. He played for some other teams. And his card right now is selling for, look at this, $1.99. This kind of research that you could have done to go find this information, but I had to do it. The doctor had to dig in and see what is going on here. This is his 1986 rookie card, $1.99, and you didn't know it. What do you have to say about that?
Well, one thing that I would say, and one thing that I would let the fans and stuff know, is that, yes, this is an amateur league, okay? And Joe may have been a professional at one time, but right now he is not. And until you can find a baseball card or information showing that he was a coach, he's still an amateur coach in our book. and I think that falls in line with our values, okay, of just allowing your everyday Joe, if I may say so, to have fun, and to play fantasy baseball and to coach a team. Some may say fulfill a dream. So
well, even though his season was short-lived, or his professional career was short-lived as a pitcher, there's a lot of Joes that I think he's trying to live up to that name. Let me run a couple by you. See what you got for this. We've got Joe Charbonneau. Remember who that was? Rookie of the Year with the Cleveland what was that? Indians. They were the Indians at that time.
Yes, they were.
We got Joe Garagiola. Now, that's probably a little bit before your time. An amazing catcher. We've got Joe Morgan, right? Joe Morgan batted with a chicken wing. Did you ever hear about that?
I have not heard that story. You're the historian.
Yeah, well, this historian is going to tell the viewers on this show, if you want to go see what the chicken wing was when he was batting, you got to go look it up yourself. We've got Joe Mauer. Played for the Twinkies, right? You got some Joes in your back pocket there? Joe Saya? Anything going on there, huh? What Joes do you know?
I do know of Joe Torre, one of the greatest managers maybe of all time. And he wasn't a player, but I do think he deserves the respect to be named here. We have Joe Buck, the great color commentator. Well, I guess great's a loose term, but a color commentator for the World Series. We have Joe DiMaggio.
Who could forget there? Joe? There's a song that has Joe DiMaggio in it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, there is. And then
what about the brother of the great knuckleballers? We got Phil Niekro, and say it with me, Joe Niekro.
I actually did not know that Joe Niekro was a man, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. He was a knuckleballer from West Virginia, Mountain Mama. He took us home on the country roads.
Hey, there's a lot of great Joes out there. I think the question is, though, will this Joe, do you think, be able to live up to the hype that surrounds his name when it comes to baseball? He wasn't able to as a player. Do you think he will as a coach?
I think he will. But there's a lot of questions that need to be asked about his strategy. I'm not ready to get into those today. But for this interview, I want to conclude by saying I think Joe knows he's got a chance. He's got to put some hours into this.
I agree. I know last year when I interviewed him, I think he started last year off 0-7, 0-8. And we actually spoke about that. He said, coming into this, I thought I could just kind of draft a team, plug and play some players, maybe make a couple moves here and there. He goes, I did not realize what it took to be successful in this league. After he started off that 0-7, 0-8, he only lost maybe 1 or 2 games the rest of the season. Unfortunately, with those losses, he was already put in a position to not succeed. But he learned, right? And it's not always about what you do. It's about what you learn from what you do or what you did. And so I do look forward to him having a successful year this year. I don't know if he's going to be quite there yet to win a championship. But we're we're probably about a quarter of the way through the season. So, we'll see how everything plays out. And I agree with you. I think Joe can be very successful in this league.
Yeah, Joe, let me just wish you well. Good luck. You got a lot of Joes that are out there rooting for you. I think you can pull it off. I agree with you.
I think he can too. Well, Dr. Historian Engstrom, I want to say thank you. You did your research, and as a league historian, I don't think you get enough credit for what you do. I don't even think half the people out there, maybe even 99% of the people out there know that you exist and all the behind-the-scenes work that you do. And I just want to say thank you for that. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you would like to say on Joe's behalf or on your behalf before we end this segment?
No.
I appreciate that, although technically you did say something in saying that.
It's true.
But thank you very much. I appreciate you coming out again, and I look forward to the next time that we speak.
That sounds great. I got to run.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right.